Picture the world of the late 19th century, a time of steam, steel, and staggering invention. The telegraph is shrinking distances, and the daily newspaper is the lifeblood of information, connecting burgeoning cities and remote frontier towns alike. In this era of explosive discovery, if you settled down with your evening paper in New York, Ohio, or Wisconsin, you'd find the usual reports of politics and progress. But nestled between them, you'd often find stories that seem to have been ripped from the pages of pure fantasy. They appeared with startling regularity, not just in one town, but across the American heartland. These were detailed, matter-of-fact accounts of massive 7 to 9 foot skeletons being unearthed from ancient burial mounds and gravel pits. Some reports even described skulls with double rows of teeth and other anatomical anomalies that defied the known science of the day. And these weren't lurid tales from sensationalist tabloids looking to sell copies. The sources were often the most respected men in their communities, local doctors providing anatomical details, town judges overseeing the excavations, university professors, and even field agents from the newly established Smithsonian institution. Their names, their credentials, and their sober testimony were printed for all to see. For decades, these discoveries filled hundreds of pages of local and national news. A lost race of giants, it seemed, was being rediscovered right under America's feet. But then, the stories stopped. The bones, meticulously documented and reportedly sent to museums and institutions for study, vanished. Today, if you visit those same institutions, you will find no trace of them. The drawers are empty. The skeletons are gone. So, what happened? Was there a systematic, far-reaching cover-up to erase a chapter of history that didn't fit the established narrative of human evolution? Or is the truth something else entirely, a more complex story of misinterpretation and myth still hidden in the dirt of the American Midwest? Today, we're peeling back the layers of myth and misdirection to investigate one of America's most enduring mysteries, the giants of ancient America. To understand the giants, you have to understand the mounds. Between 1000 BC and 500 AD, cultures like the Adena and the Hopewell built thousands of complex earthworks across the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys. The sophistication, these weren't just piles of dirt, they were aligned with lunar cycles and solar solstices with mathematical precision. The elite. When archaeologists began digging in the 1800s, they found that the most elaborate burials, the elite of these societies, often contained individuals of extraordinary stature. This is where the legends began. When we sift through the hundreds of newspaper clippings and antiquarian journals from the 18th and 19th centuries, a fascinating pattern emerges. The reports of giant skeletons aren't just about unusual height. They share eerie, specific, and recurring anatomical anomalies that hint at something far stranger than just a few tall individuals. These aren't isolated accounts. They form a mosaic of physical traits reported from burial mounds in Ohio to ancient graves in California, all describing a consistent set of characteristics that defy easy explanation. Let's examine the most prominent of these claims, the physical evidence that forms the bedrock of the giant phenomenon. Perhaps the most sensational and widespread claim is the discovery of skulls with double rows of teeth. Numerous accounts, like one from a mound in Clearfield County, Pennsylvania in 1888, describe skeletons of immense size whose jaws contained a complete double set of teeth, both upper and lower. This detail captured the public imagination, suggesting a being fundamentally different from modern humans. However, modern science offers a potential, if less dramatic, explanation. The condition known as hyperdontia, or supernumerary teeth, can result in extra teeth growing behind the normal set. More commonly, severe impaction of wisdom teeth in a large jaw could be misinterpreted by an untrained eye as a double row. Without the original skulls to examine, a recurring problem in this investigation, we are left to weigh the enthusiastic reports of 19th century excavators against modern dental pathology. The mystery persists. Were these all misinterpretations, or did they find something else? Another recurring trait is polydactyly, or the presence of extra fingers and toes. Specifically, 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. This isn't just a feature of skeletal remains, it's deeply embedded in the oral traditions of many Native American tribes. The Paiute of Nevada tells stories of the Sitaka, a race of red-haired giants who were their sworn enemies. These legends explicitly describe the giants as having 6 fingers. Similarly, the Choctaw Nation of the Southeast has oral histories of a giant race that once inhabited what is now Tennessee, who were also described as having 6 digits. The convergence of these specific details in both folklore and supposed archaeological finds is striking, suggesting a shared memory or observation of a truly distinct people. And of course, there is the sheer size. While reports of 12-foot or even 18-foot skeletons are likely the stuff of journalistic exaggeration, a remarkable number of finds fall consistently within a more believable, yet still astonishing range. In 1895, a skeleton measuring 7 feet 4 inches was unearthed in Portsmouth, Ohio. That same year, an 8-foot 4-inch skeleton was reported in a mound near San Diego, California. An 1883 report from a mound in Kanawha Valley, West Virginia, detailed a 7-foot 6-inch skeleton with a low, flat forehead and a jaw of prodigious size. These aren't mythical 12-footers, but they are consistently in the 7 to 9-foot range. This consistency has led some researchers to theorize the existence of a royal class or a ruling elite among the ancient inhabitants of the Americas, a physically imposing group that dominated the landscape and the historical record. These accounts, with their specific and repeated details, paint a compelling picture, but pictures can be deceiving. The biggest question remains: if these skeletons were so numerous and well documented, where are they now? The most common question: where are the bones? Conspiracy theorists point to the Smithsonian Institution. The accusation: thousands of accounts claim that bones were shipped to the Smithsonian, only to be lost or destroyed. The Smithsonian side: in 1894, Cyrus Thomas of the Smithsonian published a 700-page report proving the mound builders were Native Americans, debunking the then popular ancient white race theory. Critics say that in their rush to prove Native American heritage, any evidence of an band of anomalous skeletons that didn't fit the Darwinian timeline. We have to be honest, the 1800s were a wild time for hoaxes. The Cardiff Giant, a 10-foot stone man found in New York, was revealed to be a carved statue. Megafauna misidentification. Many 15-foot humans were actually mastodon bones arranged by people who didn't know anatomy. But even if 90% of the stories were hoaxes or errors, the remaining 10% come from reputable scientists and excavation reports. If only one 8-foot skeleton was real, it changes the history of North America forever. So, where does our journey leave us? We've sifted through dusty newspaper clippings filled with sensational claims, and we've stood in the shadow of the monumental earthworks left behind by the mound builder cultures. We've navigated the murky waters of historical hoaxes, like the Cardiff Giant, designed to prey on a public fascination with the unknown. We've also examined the controversial role of institutions like the Smithsonian, whose early policies, while aiming to professionalize archaeology, also led to the loss and misinterpretation of countless artifacts, fueling conspiracy theories for over a century. The evidence strongly suggests that the giants of America were not a distinct non-human species. Instead, the term likely refers to the very real and often impressively tall indigenous peoples of the Adena, Hopewell, and Mississippian traditions. These were individuals from a time when nutrition and genetics could produce powerful leaders and revered figures whose remains were later unearthed and sensationalized. The narrative of a separate giant race was a convenient fiction, one that served to sever the undeniable connection between these magnificent mounds and the ancestors of modern Native American nations. What we are truly confronting is the shadow of a forgotten past. The mounds themselves are not just tombs for the tall. They are monuments to a lost era of profound astronomical knowledge, continent-spanning trade networks, and immense collective ambition. They are the libraries of a history written in earth and bone, a history that we have only just begun to read with the respect and scientific rigor it deserves. The secrets they guard are not of monsters, but of men and women who shape the very land we stand on. Which brings us to the final enduring question: Why do you think these stories of giants are so persistent, not just here, but across nearly every culture on Earth? Is it a shared primal memory from a distant human past? A psychological archetype representing our struggle against overwhelming forces? Or is it a recurring echo of a hidden truth we have yet to fully uncover? I want to hear your perspective. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this journey into America's hidden history as fascinating as I did, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications for more deep dives into the mysteries that shape our world. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.